you're breaking barriers with this, new daily vlog stuff, but you're also breaking barriers with being now the first ever single player to have a title sponsor at an Elite Series event with the Simon line. We got to talk. How did that come about? Was that your idea? Did you reach out to the Disc Golf Pro Tour? Kind of lead us into how that started.
So tournaments have been reaching out to disc manufacturers for title sponsor, of course, as every year. And MVP was approached by, I think, a handful-ish of new ones. And MVP already has, of course, OTB Open, which was Champions Cup this year, which is a big one, the MVP Open in Massachusetts. Then they added the Open at Austin. Then they also have Nashville. And they just had so much on their plate. And then the Preserve asked if MVP is interested to sponsor this event as well. And they didn't really want to take on another one. So they kind of gave me a call and approached me with this idea. Hey, what do you think? Simon Line sponsored Disc Golf Pro Tour event. And I mean, I've never thought about it before. I didn't know what it means or how that even works. So I kind of just said, why not? Maybe, I guess. And then I called Kale up and talked to him about it, see what he thought. And then at the Disc Golf Expo, which was in January, I met with Charlie, who is the new owner of the Preserve, and he has the Gotta Go, Gotta Throw as his main business. And I talked to him about it, and it just seemed to kind of fall into place like that. And that's kind of all I had to do with it. Everything else was kind of dealt with by everyone else. And I got to tweak some holes. Yuli, are you here?
Yeah.
Have you played the course?
3 times.
What do you think? Kind of fun?
I like it. Yes. I like it a lot. Yep, I do. It was like a slow, the first round, I'm like, what's going on here? And then the second round, I was like, okay, it feels better. My third round, I was like, okay, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, the tweaks we made were minor. There's one new hole, and the rest is just all same but different, kind of. A bit cleaned up on 2 holes. I don't know. My main goal was to get rid of backups, and the 2 par 4s that I felt were a little fluky, I just asked them to clean up slightly the landing zones or the gap on hole 4. And that's about it.
Did you do anything with the green complexes? Any different pin locations or anything that's going to make greens a little more challenging?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I think we added 2 double pins, one on 3. Kale had the idea to push a basket towards the slope where it kind of goes into the woods down to the water. I haven't seen it yet how it looked. When we were there in March, it was very rough, and I couldn't really picture what it would look like. So hopefully they cleaned that up nicely.
It looks good.
Okay, so that's going to make that hole, I mean, I don't know, maybe a forehand for the big guys. And, I mean, that's going to be a tough birdie to get. You got to throw like a perfect little straight 300-foot, almost left to right kind of finisher. And then on 16, the little mound shot, there's a pin where it used to be long, and then one that's, I don't know, what is it, like 30 feet shorter?
Yeah, I think so.
40 feet shorter?
Yeah, 30, 40.
But I'm yet to actually see all the changes in person, so I'm going to see that tomorrow morning, and I'm excited to check it out.
17 is no longer on a high rise. It's lowered to normal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How hard is it designing a course and not having your own skill set come into play, right? How hard is it to design a hole and be like, this hole's gonna be really hard for me to play. This shot doesn't set up to my eye. How difficult is that to do?
Before you answer that, a funny story is we're playing the practice round this morning with Jomez, and every change, Germ's like, oh, well, that makes sense because of Simon. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind, Simon had nothing to do with this change. I know it. And one of them was 17 because he goes, Oh yeah, that makes sense. He probably wants a more aceable hole because he's always trying to ace run everything. And I
He didn't
remember
even know
thinking
that.
to
He
myself,
didn't even
yeah,
know the
yeah.
basket was
I'm like, I
lowered.
bet you he doesn't know a lot of these things. But anyway, go ahead, Simon. I thought that was funny that like during the round we're all trying to pick apart like your mind and what you did to the course.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know. I haven't really designed that many courses, but I would assume that probably you would lean into stuff that looks appealing to you
Yeah.
personally, which is why every designer probably has like their own personal style and kind of signature way of doing stuff. I probably have mine. I wouldn't say I have fully um, recognized what it is yet. I just kind of like things that look nice and that play fair. That's really all that I'm looking for.
So you basically just saw the course as it was and was like, I don't like this about it. This is kind of fluky. So it wasn't really because that's a course I want to see in the future is like give the blueprints to Simon. Like
Mhm.
it is an open course. How many par fours are you going to put? How many par threes? How many turnover backhands? How many forehands? This was more, hey, let's clean this up a little bit. And with that being said, you're super anti OB. Yuli's telling me over here there's more OB than there's ever been on the course. What happened with that? Is that a you thing or is that a disc golf pro tour thing?
I added 0 OB lines. I'm not aware of any OB lines.
Okay, so everything that was added was probably the pro tour saying we need OB here.
I've heard rumors of pro tour guys going out there and adding some ropes.
this is like Worlds in Utah where they just started throwing ropes down. We just all showed up and had to play the course with OB.
I mean, it's just this tough question of do we want as hard as possible, as punishing as possible, with every hole could be a 2-stroke swing by like just marginally different shots. Is that exciting? Yeah, I think in some ways that's very exciting, especially down the stretch. But when I'm watching and down the stretch, there's 10, 15 players within 4 strokes of each other, which tends to be more on these shorter, more fair courses with less OB. Like we saw in Waco, for example, like we saw in Cascade as well. I find that a bit more entertaining, honestly, when I'm watching and when I'm part of it too. Like when I'm in the mix and 3 strokes is the difference between podium or 20th or 15th, like that's way more thrilling than, oh, if I lose a couple strokes here, I'm going to finish in 5th instead of 4th or 6th instead of 8th. Like it doesn't really feel like you're playing for much anymore.